Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm Peter Gross, co-host of the original Wild Kingdom with Marlin, Perkins, and Jim Fowler. For more than 50 years, Wild Kingdom explored wildlife and our natural world. Tonight's episode, and many others, focus on the timeless value of wildlife conservation. Wild Kingdom played a critical role in changing public attitudes about the importance of animals for the health of our planet and our own quality of life. We challenge viewers to learn about animals and get involved in conservation in their local communities. That call to action resulted in more visits to local zoos, nature preserves, and even observing animals in their natural habitats. And that connection with animals benefits all of us in the Wild Kingdom. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is presented by Mutual of Omaha.
Wildfire, racing through a dry Montana forest. As smoke jumpers of the United States Forest Service work desperately to stop the spreading flames, thousands of animals flee from the advancing fire line. Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. To forest animals, nothing is more devastating than wildfire. Last week, Stan Brock and I flew to a raging fire in the pine forests of western Montana. We went there as guests of the smoke jumpers of the United States Forest Service to conduct a study on the behavior of animals fleeing a large fire. I scouted from a helicopter. Stan got a closer look by parachuting right to the fire line with the smoke jumpers.
At first, observation was easy, but now, after several days of steady wind, the fire has spread, making observation difficult, and the job of the firefighters much more dangerous.
The winds were pushing the fire perilously close to a wild animal refuge, the National Bison Range near Missoula, Montana. The smoke jumpers were doing a tremendous job, but from my vantage point in a helicopter, it was easy to see that flames might soon reach the buffalo herds. There's burning timber at the edge of the Bison Range, and the Forest Service is fighting the fire with airdrops of flame-killing chemicals. For these difficult missions, pilots fly converted World War II fighters and bombers. We're nearing the main herd from the National Bison Range. Our helicopter started a small stampede. There's no immediate danger, but if the winds keep up, it may not be long before the fire reaches the buffalo. We'll land near the fire where Stan is waiting. From here, we'll move out on foot to search for wildlife. Stan has already scouted this part of the fire line without result. He suggests we look beyond the dense smoke. Once trees begin topping out with flame like this, nothing can save them. The smoke jumpers just hope to contain the blaze and keep it from spreading. More jumpers are arriving. Parachuting into this rugged country with tall trees and fire to contend with is a perilous job. But these men are superbly trained. We'll give them a hand getting those chutes under control. You've got to spill air quickly or you run the risk of being dragged. The smoke jumpers are going to need every available man to fight the fire. Gusts of wind are blowing embers across the fire line and starting new blazes.
There, in the treetop, a porcupine. The fire might easily overtake him here. We'd better get him down. Once it's on the ground, we should find the porcupine easy to catch. They're slow animals, especially vulnerable to being overrun by a swift-moving wildfire. Now the idea is simple. Get him into the sack and avoid those quills. We'll carry the porcupine to a safe spot and release it.
The smoke jumpers are having a difficult time halting the advancing flames. The fire's still spreading.
Just beyond the fire line, a goshawk. He's after something. There, a horned owl. The owl has caught a cottontail, probably as the rabbit was fleeing the fire. Now the goshawk seems determined to steal the prize. The owl is too strong for the goshawk. It will search for easier game. We must find a safe spot for our porcupine. This whole area is dotted with fires. The best place will be along the stream bank.
This should be an ideal spot for the release if we can just convince the porcupine to come out. If it has to, the porcupine can swim the stream to avoid the flames. Those quills are hollow and filled with air, so these animals float like corks. But for now, he'll be safe here. Why, there's an animal caught in the current, a fawn. It must have tried to leave the fire area upstream. The helicopter will pick us up here. The fawn is much too young to survive on its own. We'll fly it back to the bison range where someone can care for it. It's wet and scared, but soon it will be far from the danger of wildfire. The fawn was safe, and now it was time to take it to a place where it would remain out of danger. A fawn this young is still nursing. It will have to be cared for until it's old enough to fend for itself. The helicopters answered our call quickly. We'll fly the fawn back to the bison range where there are facilities to care for it properly. Stan will stay behind to scout along the fire line. This stream flows through the bison range. All we have to do is follow it. We've radioed ahead, and there's the man we're looking for by the stream bank. We'll set down beside him. Anytime you bring two unfamiliar animals together, you take it nice and slow. This is Marvin Caskey, manager of the National Bison Range. He'll take the fawn back to headquarters where it can be cared for. Now to head back to the fire.
The blaze is still spreading, pushed by the winds. The flames have already claimed a lot of timber. There's nothing to do but try to contain the flames and let them burn themselves out. It's hot, heavy work. So far, the fire shows no signs of letting up. The smoke jumpers must keep guard constantly against being encircled by the advancing flames. It's not a simple matter in fires this large.
Scouting from the helicopter, we haven't seen much wildlife still in the fire zone. But now there are animals moving along the stream bank. Pilot Mel Garrar puts us down for a look. Coyotes, yearlings. Swift animals like these are seldom in any danger from a forest fire. They can easily outrun it. He's seen something. Canada geese. He doesn't want to give up the chase, but the geese are well out of reach. Looks like he's found something else along the bank. An otter. The young coyote had better be careful. This is a full-grown adult, and he is no match for this fellow. Otters are so fast they can bite you almost before you have time to react. I think they've decided to search for less hazardous prey. There's a radio call. It's from a helicopter that spotted a buffalo herd threatened by fire. Mel says our fuel is too low to go anywhere but back to base. I'll switch helicopters and head for the buffalo herd. The buffalo are almost surrounded by fire and confused by the smoke. We'll try to herd them out of danger with the helicopter. With Pilot Chuck Trail at the controls, we're ready to go. It'll be a difficult job, herding frightened buffalo from a helicopter. It was a short flight to the bison range, and it wasn't long before we saw that the huge animals were in real danger. Gusts of wind have carried the fire into the range. It looks like smaller ground fires have started near the area where the bison herd was spotted. If the fires continue to spread, they'll completely surround the buffalo with flame and make escape impossible. There they are. We've got to get them away from the trees into the open. Our best chance is to use the helicopter to stampede them in the right direction. That smoke has confused them, and the trees make it even harder to keep them moving the right way. Good, they're moving again. We have to get them into a clearing before the fire has a chance to spread. Now they're moving the right way. There's clear ground dead ahead. That youngster can't keep up. But there's no time to stop now. The herd will be safe here. Now to search for that calf we left behind. There, in the grass ahead. We're none too soon. The fire's spreading. This fellow's even younger than I thought. He can't be more than a few hours old. Now we'll see if we can find its mother. We won't try to get too near the herd. Buffalo are timid but unpredictable. I'll leave the calf where the herd can see it and hope the mother claims it. There she is. She's seen her calf. It's time for me to leave. A female buffalo with young is an animal you give plenty of room. The buffalo will all be safe here, well away from the trees and out of reach of the wildfire. Stan Brock and I left Montana with nothing but admiration for the smoke jumpers who brought the fire under control. The buffalo herd was soon safe again under the expert care of the men of the National Bison Range. While lightning starts many fires every year, the majority of forest fires are man-made and preventable. Every year, millions of acres of prime timberland and wildlife habitat are destroyed in fires caused by carelessness. The destruction would be much greater but for the heroic efforts of dedicated men like the smoke jumpers of the United States Forest Service. Man is the major cause of wildfire. By taking extra care with campfires and matches, he can also be the main hope for reducing the annual destruction in our great forests, helping to preserve a unique part of the wild kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Like what you saw? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more exclusive content. And visit our website at wildkingdom.com.